let's start with a Uniash, 50% speed there, 75% speed back, and then once the first line gets back, the second line go. For today, make sure, again, as I say with a Uniash, every time make sure you're covering a lot of distance for each set. We're really going to be focusing on good cutting forms, so you have to make sure that you can cover a lot of distance in one push when we move on to doing cuts that you're not lacking distance to actually be able to do the cut because you can't push far in one step. So each step really big, 50% speed there, 75% speed back, and then switch lines. Slide ready? Hajime! And 200% speed jump, please. Make sure when you're moving that you're still holding your kamae using tension in your back. If you don't, if you're using your arms to hold your kamae, as you tense as you move forward, you're likely to do this. And this is obviously not very useful in practice. You just get skied and also your kote is open. You probably won't be able to get many cuts quicker than your opponent, which will have to change the angle of your shinai more. So make sure that you're holding your kamae using your back rather than your arms, so when you're moving it doesn't change at all, because your back's staying the same the entire time you're moving, so that your kamae doesn't change while you move. It's kind of almost like your arms like something that's operated by something else, like a sort of machine contraption where your arms just a like object and your back's the thing controlling it rather than your arm actually having its own muscles or whatever. So 100% speed there, 200% speed back, and then switch lines. Ready? Do it! Much on speed, make sure each time that you're covering as much distance as you can, and that you're first pushing and then adding infumakiri once you reach the edge of your distance. So rather than being normal kuriashi, it's almost like Oikomi, but just without the stamp. You're just doing the fumakiri aspect to get to the edge and then pushing. The edge of this distance should be the maximum point where you can still return, because that's very important when you're in actual keiko, because if you if you get to this point and then decide not to cut, it's going to be really awkward to like slowly pull yourself back up. You're probably going to look very silly. You're probably going to get cut, have an equal score against you. So the limit of this push initially should be the maximum distance you can go, where you can easily just return to where you were. And then when you're doing this footwork, once you reach here, instead of returning, you should push and then catch up and then do each of those steps down all the way there and all the way back, and then switch to second line. Everyone ready? Do it! you can add in a little bit of pace. If you're a beginner and this is the first time you're trying this sort of thing, you can first feel out how far of a distance you can get where it's a comfortable movement before you start adding in the fumakiri aspect. You can feel this out just to test your own distance before you start doing the full step. And again, really important to make sure that you're operating your kamae with your back is here particularly because you're suddenly adding in a lot more like momentum force. Is very easy if you're trying to hold stuff in place here, that when you push this like moves, or even just like, even as much as this is enough that your kamae is going to lose out against someone who's more experienced or someone who's staying still. So make sure you're operating with your back by holding your core tension. You can do even like small little like internal kiais as you take each step. So that each time you're holding it with your back in place rather than holding it with your arms, which are much more movable. Once you're done, first, like, you want a really good example of this, watch Miko Sensei. It's very, very stable. His kamae doesn't move at all while doing the footwork. So, same exercise, but this time if you're a bit more confident, you can keep up the, you can up the pace a little bit, but do take your time if you're not. First line, ready? Right. Do it. Move on to Oikomi practice. Now, and then as you do the key part of this footwork, and then kind of fumakomi. You don't need to do fumakomi all the way down. I'll just do sort of your natural amount of tension. So maybe about 3 steps, and you should be able to control your momentum. You might need a bit more if you're a beginner and you're struggling a bit more to control momentum, but make sure again that your kamae should push forward further controlled by your back, and that if you push to do the cut, your arms are only extending towards the fumakiri, and then you're just adding in tenuichi as your shin up is up to about men height. You don't need to push here and do anything like this sort of thing where you pull your elbows back in to get a bigger arc. All you need is this tenuichi right at the end of the cut. You can still get 2 points.
Yes. So beginners who haven't necessarily done small cuts yet, as Ina said, you just push up towards the eyes with your left hand. Okay, and as you do so, you can leave your right hand slightly where it is, so that your left hand goes slightly forward, which will do what? Create space. When you use tenuichi, close the space. Okay. Other one is senpai. If you're not feeling particularly active today, the way to do this exercise isn't to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to artificially inflate my zanshin so I don't have to do as many cuts. Do more cuts. Zanshin is the tiring part, okay? So don't be like, yeah, this is definitely the length of my zanshin. Yeah? Okay. Right. Take it easy. And then just sprint across the ball because you can't be bothered.
Again, all the way there, then all the way back, and then second one in. First line ready. Right. Let's do it.
Beginners come. Beginners again. We're going to come to the left line because we want to do it. So, let's look up.
The same principles apply for each one, just go big, you don't need to it's up to that. So, first line ready?
Shall we just make one line?
Yeah, actually make one line. Ready?
Hey!
Turns it into a rap.
Yeah, 10 times down.
Oh, that's the one
Who enjoyed the kendo dance party? It was good, right? I can't work out how to make the colours change though. So, on my editing software. So. Yeah, I know it's good. Not effective. I'll work it out.
Do we have
one person out? We'll just wait.
We have 13 songs on.
Ah, okay. Hey! So, the same as previous weeks, you're going to be doing Oikomi, starting with just footwork up the line with good kamae, but this time, as you push towards your Motodachi's eyes, as if you're about to go for a menka. I really think about this extension and what is useful for. For one thing, you can't extend your hands first and then move because it would just open your kote really badly. So make sure your extension only happens as you push forward. And make sure as you do this extension that you're controlling the center. Even if your Motodachi has a lot of pressure this way, you can technically do this as well and push after averting your Motodachi Shinai to point towards the rim. But again, when you're doing this, you do have to be careful of the fact that you're now on kote side. You have to make sure to have a stronger center so that you're not just stepping out to the side and opening your pocket. So make sure you have good kamae to do this. So down the hall and then switch sides and go back. A bit. So again, when you're doing this exercise, we'll do it one more time, but make sure that just because you're pushing forward and winning the center doesn't mean you're suddenly tensing your hands. Because if your hands are tense here, you're not going to be able to do a men cut. You still have to be loosen your upper body as you push. You're just having tension in your legs and core, so that when you do actually need to do the cut, that you still have to have untense arms to actually do the cut. If you're already tense, you've ruined all your potential to actually cut. So stay loose on the upper half of your body and only hold tension in the bottom half. So you're moving with this tension, using your back to win the center, and using your back to push, so that you can still have room available to cut. Whichever, and it also gives you adaptability. If you're loose, you have the ability, if I push and I get pushed out of the way, I have the adaptability to suddenly change and cut kote, or even just the adaptability to move, to not quite push it out of the way and move out if I see the risk is too high. So this exercise, one more time, we're really focused on keeping your shoulders and arms relaxed, so let them inconvenience too much. Thanks.
Time!
So now we'll move into adding an actual cut. So when you're doing this exercise, it's really important to make sure that you're still doing one step. If I have to do multiple steps to get a cut in actual keiko, I have to go like, oh, I'm not going to get the opportunity at all. So you have to make sure that you find your right distance. If your best distance is here, then start your cut from here and do one big into the men cut. Don't go, oh, my cutting distance is here, but oh, it makes more sense to start here, so I'll do one step, two steps. There's no point here. As soon as you make one like really important step, your opponent's going to react. They're going to push your shin out of the way. They're going to cut. They're going to do something. So when you're just going for a straight men cut, you have to make sure to get into a distance that you're comfortable with, and then do that push. And then only once you push through your opponent's kamae and have your shinai level at their eyes is when you engage your fumakiri at the edge of your semi-ash and push into the cut and try to make it as minimalistic as you can. It shouldn't really have to be like this for you to get good tenrichi-san. You should be able to just as little as like this. Obviously, if you're a beginner, you might need to do a slightly bigger arc for the cut to still be good. You might have to push up to here and then cut. But still try to minimize it to whatever your minimum is. The point of having keiko is to try figure out your own kendo. If you can try do this at first and then keep trying to get smaller and smaller, then maybe you'll find that you can actually do really small cuts and still make them good. Okay. So men cuts down the hall. You can do normal zanshin. It doesn't have to be these don't have to be renzoku men. Zanshin back to isoku ito to kamae and then cut again. Alright. Plus.
nice strength. So as you step in, the sword deviates to the centre.
One more step. Just focus on making sure that you're pushing.
So don't push. Just step. Come. Okay.
Just your pressure on the pull. Elbows in too much. You'll make a touch on the floor and then
One more. Nice one.
It's almost. You feel like the sword is more like a whip. That you don't need to engage your elbow much. Let's confidence.
You have none. They should feel it all.
And one final time before we move on, make sure this is your bent cuts.
Hi.
Like this.
That's really good. Perfect. Happy with that?
Now moving on to something slightly different. So the exercise in its beginning is going to be the same. We're going to pressure towards your opponent's eyes. The only difference is that your opponent's going to resist and you're going to move out almost to the right of their eye. And then as you move in with this pressure, you let your hand go around and cut kote. It's a very effective way to get kote because your opponent will think that you're going for a men and they can just stifle you and you can fall in. But you just raise with the same pressure and let your shin eye go round theirs and cut their kote. You have to make sure to,
It's not round.
Yeah,
So it is right. It's not round. You just go up and down. Not this straight cut. If you try and go round like this, you're going to try and push from the side. So make sure that what's happening is you're going round by just going up. So as you come in, going for men, they resist. You go in, they resist, and you just use this. As I said, for the small cut, you just use the left hand and move forward like this to move the whole that way. And it creates the space, you have the tendency. Okay?
Ready?
Sorry.
Again, also make sure that even though you're going above your opponent's shin eye, so you might have to create quite a lot of room, still make the kote a small cut, so make it light. You don't need to pull up all the way here, like slam down with all your arm strength. It should still be this light tap that you do for kote.
Hey.
That's it. step. You're confident. Just make sure that when you're doing this exercise, one clean push, then the confidence, because you want your opponent to go, oh no. If you're going in quite slowly, you're trying to get again.
Nice. Yeah.
So a quick point to make before we move on to this before we continue doing this exercise. If I do this really slowly and then try to go for the kote, my opponent's probably going to realize what I'm doing really early on. So you have to make sure that from here you're doing one big push and then cutting the kote, because as soon as there's resistance, you need to give your opponent enough too little time to think of what you're doing. As soon as they resist here, they make the mistake that gets their kote cut. If I give my opponent loads of time to push away and resist them, they're going to go, oh, they're trying to cut kote. As soon as I go to cut kote, they're going to think of something else to do. They're going to do kaishi or even just like block the kote at worst. At best, they're going to cut kote and you're going to get ippon scored, or do kaishi and get ippon scored against you. So make sure you're doing one clean push, and as soon as there's that resistance, switch and do kote. Right. So again, I'll do it. It's so ridiculous that people actually as opposed to both, I feel like it looks so cheap, you know? But if I go,
what is the zanshi for kote when you're not going into an opponent? Show me. Where does your shinai end up when you've done kote cut? And you're not going in?
On the side of the neck.
Show me. I said show me. Show me. Everyone show me. A lot of people doing this. If I do this against a proficient opponent, what's going to happen? I'm going to get hit about 100,000 times. Okay? Ruri Sensei brought this up at another cake that we did, and this is incredibly important in it. Your zanshin for kote, irrespective of if you are going in or not, goes towards the neck. Okay? When you're not going into an opponent, it goes from here into the kote, and you move from the kote to the tsuki, and you move through. Okay? When you are going into an opponent, obviously, if I do this, that's incredibly cruel. Okay, also incredibly hard to target. So instead, I let it go to the side of his neck. Here, or the other side, okay? Now obviously, you're not trying to run it into him either. So as you're coming in, then you come into your tail position. I do not want to see again in this dojo this. Okay? It's not useful. Your posture comes in like this, like a little gremlin, okay? The kendo gremlin, return. Okay? So, nice posture. And push him away with that nice strong triangle that you have for tail. Okay?
Hey. Yeah, doing this exercise one more time, keep that good zanshin in mind. And do it.
I get what? You're still squishing the end. But that's so, it got wet, it got better. Thank you. It's just you really want to be here, into a nice strong tail. You can do the same thing, like that.
Now we're going to do this, but with variants. So when you're doing this, Mawarigeiko, you can vary how you resist your opponent pushing. So if I'm coming in, John can decide to push out the way, and I can go for a potte, or they can lack resistance, and cut men, or even technically if they're pushing out the way as they come for men, I can cut men. You have to consider your distance. If I've already covered a lot of ground because I want to cut men, and then the resistance comes in, it's going to be very difficult to cut potte. I can do it if I do a very, very small, like, tiny Oikomi like this. But it might be preferable at that point to switch and go under and cut men as my opponent moves their shit out of the way. So doing this exercise Kakari did, you're just doing the same thing, you're just pushing in. The only difference is that your Mawarigeiko can choose how to resist it. If they lack resistance, cut men. If they don't, cut potte or
So too close and they have resistance, cut men.
yeah, if they don't resist, you can just cut men really easily, so you don't even have to think about it that much. But still make sure these cuts are efficient. You don't want to have to push and then go up, down, to make sure it's push. And then you're just doing this at eye height level men cut. That's it. sure when you're doing this exercise that you're still engaging that one clean push moment movement. You don't want to just do this sort of, make sure you're really focusing on what the point of the exercise is. You just push in, and as soon as you feel resistance, you've got cut. If in actual keiko, if you can master this, what's to stop you winning any fight you ever go into? If you take this end and you just go straight in, and there's no getting cut then, you'll win every time. You don't have to worry about it. And if they resist, you cut pote. Win every time. So really focus on this. Don't worry too much about, I need to check a bunch of stuff. That's more complicated stuff that you might need later. For now, just really focus on this basic aspect of just pushing in and taking the opening.
And this is right. When you break it down, kendo's really simple. Step in, win, done. Get good.
One more time, that's it. So now we're going to move to the side. So now we're going to use this principle to work on Iowa or the balance or functional people who are doing at the same time. It'll functional balance. So the same as every exercise you're going to push forward and then look for the opportunity. We'll take the sake, because we will push and then cut. It's really important to make sure, one, that you have this efficient movement of going towards the eyes and then cut. Because if I come in and go, I'm just going to get skied, or even if I do a slightly, I do a shallow cut, but it's like this, I'll get my manual, like also easily. So make sure that you have this shallow form for your cut. You're just reaching forward and using only that pressure from your back moving forward. And you're kind of reaching to get a cut so that you get much more efficient. And again, this exercise you can still do both there. If I'm pushing in, both people might do pote, one of you might do pote, one of you might do that. It is really not, you should just look for the best opportunity to get that back lesson. If you're a beginner, don't worry too much about outmatching your opponent right now. Just focus on doing really good kendo and it should be fine.
Similarly, Aaron Esther, you should try and outmatch.
Oh yeah, if you're up against another kohai.
Lucinda, try and beat Seme. Henrik, try and beat David. But good luck.
I'll do it. I have 5 cuts each, 5 leg trains.
Even further away. You're trying to hit at the same time. You're trying to beat out your opponent. So don't do that.
crush Sensei. Yeah. Sensei's leaving soon, so you've got to crush him first. You can't let Finland have all the good stuff.
Hey.
And again, reverse. As a push.
Before we finish off with this exercise, one last point for this exercise. It's really important, especially if you're a beginner or less experienced than whoever you're practicing with. It's really important to take the Sem, to take the initiative. Because if I'm fighting John or David, and if I was like a beginner and I cut very fast and I wait for John, there's no way I'm going to be able to cut quicker than them. So you really have to take the initiative so that you can start to cut first. So that it's less likely that your opponent has the chance to win. You should always have this mindset, particularly if your opponent's more skilled and better than you. You really need to be confident and just take the initiative, where you're just going to not give yourself any opportunities. You get made loads of opportunities if you just take the initiative.
Just step in and win, as Amy said. Yeah.
The last time I quit. Everyone come on in. One second.
Guys, what the hell is this? For a complete cut? Please, in the future.
So go. Just everyone manage all that. Quick drink. Hey. Once you're ready, line up into pairs for normal practice, maybe Mawarigeiko or Mawarigeiko.
This practice is going to be recorded on my channel.
If there's someone in the line that you can pair up with them.
Whoever's out of 22 minutes from standing up. Sign first. Go for it.
Us.
Alright, I won't rotate it. So time 2 minutes. If you're out, time 2 minutes. From the second they stand up. Ah! Come in! Thank you. If you are out, please do watch the timer.
Can we have it up?
What is somebody out over here?
Huh?
Phil, look out!
This. Probably and because it's getting close to the time.
Do one more, what we call it.
One more, right.
Right.
Skip rotate, do one more. Tack this side.
That's
Yeah. taking